My name is Tim Tier. I am the Executive Director of the Africa Program for the Wildlife Conservation Society, or WCS, as most people know it.
Super. So you're one of the namers of the 22 baby gorillas that were being named in this year's Kwita ceremony. Talk to us about your experience in that.
Well, I was really touched and inspired to be part of that group. It was a tremendous collection of people, both from outside Rwanda and inside Rwanda, people that are both from African countries as well as European and American countries, and it was just very touching.
Normally, people ask and wonder, how do the namers get picked? How do you become one of the gorilla namers? Because some people are saying, I wish I could be able to also name a gorilla. So could you tell us how you got into this list of the 22 that were naming these gorillas?
Well, in all honesty, it's a bit of a mystery. I don't know the answer to that. We got an invitation from the Rwandan Development Board to come and speak. And so I think the answer to that mystery lies with them.
From your own experience as a conservationist around the region, when you look at the conservation issues and the way it's being done in other regional countries, what kind of lesson do you think other countries can learn from Rwanda's conservation efforts?
Well, I think that one of the most important messages that I learned was listening to His Excellency's talk, where he describes how conservation and development have to go hand in hand. And he made the comment as well that conservation is not just the responsibility of the government and international NGOs coming in to help out, but it's also the responsibility of every Rwandan. And the fact that he keeps conservation at the top of the national agenda is truly remarkable. And it's from there that conservation continues to thrive and succeed. And the success stories in Rwanda speak for themselves.
Some of the people I've spoken to on these issues of conservation have mentioned the problem of illegal wildlife trade as one of the major impediments to conservation efforts. How can we deal with this issue once and for all?
Well, from WCS's perspective, we think of it as needing to do three things: stop the killing, stop the trafficking, and stop the trade. And I think you need to do all three of those things. And the illegal wildlife trade is that middle part, it's the trafficking part, but it's linked to needing to do better anti-poaching activities in the protected areas like Anangwe National Park, where we're making tremendous success in reducing poaching activities. And in addition, we have to do something about decreasing the market as well. But the trafficking part, that's really emerged as one of the more difficult and challenging issues. And that's because the illegal trafficking of wildlife products is now going hand in hand with narcotics and other illegal trades, which are really, makes it a very difficult and challenging issue to address.
Right. But the problem is we have other conservationists or activists on issues of wildlife who are saying we need to stop the trade immediately because this is where the demand for the ivory is actually coming from. How do we stop the trade from these countries which are actually taking in these particular products?
Well, actually, again, this is where I think Rwanda is in a leadership position. As you know, where I met you for the first time in the beginning of this week was all about the conversation on conservation and dialogue, continuing to have discussions about what's the right way, what's the best way to resolve these complex, complicated issues is the only way forward. Every country has a different perspective. Every country comes to conservation from their own unique position. And really the conservation solutions at the global level, as well as at the national level and at the local level, demand better dialogue. And without better dialogue, we won't find solutions.